Well, I know that many of you like fast freight on the high iron. So let's just pull up a chair and watch this train. But I kind of want to focus on what kind of cars we're seeing, not just be amazed at the noise and the strength and the amount of tonnage. But I'm seeing a lot of covered hoppers, and there are a lot of different materials hauled in covered hoppers. Now, there's a gondola car, which to me, the difference in a gondola and a hopper is a gondola is always loaded in the top and unloaded out of the top. There's two more of them. More covered hoppers. Now that one had 4 outlets. There's another one with 4, but there's one with 3. Wonder what the difference is. Well, let's take a minute and explore the differences between the gondola and the hopper car. This is an old mill gon. Now that's what I think of when I think of a gondola, is the old mill gon used for pipe, I-beams, sometimes scrap, but always items loaded into the top of the car and unloaded back out of the top of the car. But far more common than the gondola is the hopper in 2 basic configurations, open top and covered. The majority of this train is covered hoppered, but hauling different items in those cars. So if you ask most people what they think of when they think of freight cars, they would be thinking box car. The average person just thinks box car, but how about coal car? Now this is a hopper car, a coal hopper, because it's loaded in the top but unloads out the bottom. What do you think of this car? This is a coal gondola. Loads in the top but does not have a way to dump out the bottom of the car. Both are aluminum, both look a lot alike. This car gets rotated and dumped out the top. This is a hopper car which has bottom discharge made specifically for gravel. Gravel, heavy, dense, smaller car. Now this is a hopper, unloads out the bottom, but an open top hopper which is full of wood chips. Very light, hence a big car. This product doesn't get hurt by rain or wind, so this is the way that that's hauled. You can have wood chip gons, but that's a hopper. Now this car, covered hopper, 4 outlets, but I see that these are pneumatic, meaning the product that comes out of this car is either sucked out or by a vacuum system, or has a pressure differential system, which means you can slightly charge the car to help the product flow out. This also a covered hopper, has 4 outlets on the bottom, and these are gates. These open up and let the product fall right out the bottom. Still, you don't want grain getting wet, so it's a covered hopper. Covered hoppers are for products you don't want getting wet, blowing out along the way. Boy, when I see this, I think of Canada's breadbasket, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Alberta, and all the grain that they produce up there, wheat, corn, that kind of thing. And you can haul corn in these. They bottom dump, which means you have a chance of contamination, but the corn isn't processed yet, so that's acceptable. Whereas flour, you would not ever bottom dump. What do you think of this car? This is a covered hopper, but it only has 2 discharge gates, which means it's hauling a heavier product. You can haul 100 tons in a rail car, so 100 tons of sand takes a smaller car than grain. This would be for sand, cement powder, 2 hoppers, bottom discharge. This is the gate that's on the bottom of the car that opens and lets the product fall out. When you turn that shaft there, either mechanically assisted or if you do it by hand, that gate slowly opens and product falls out the bottom of the car. This is found on many of them. This is the basic. This is caveman. This is not rocket science. When that gate opens, the product comes out the bottom of the car. Now here is how it's done with the power assist. This machine, which is pneumatic, turns that shaft, allowing the gate to open and the product to come out. Messy, noisy, a little bit violent. That machine is loud. It hammers on that shaft, and that turns the shaft. The teeth engage the gate and pull the gate open. This is the pneumatic gate. This is used on products that you want to keep very clean. Plastics, flour, that kind of thing. You can't dump flour out the bottom and have it on the same surface where tractor trailers have driven. The flour would be dirty and contaminated. So it's pneumatic. Now, wouldn't you know, this is a combination. This is gravity and pneumatic. In my opinion, anything that you try and make do two things well probably does neither thing ideally or very, very well. So this can be used in a pneumatic discharge, or it can be opened up as a gravity gate. Here's another view of it. And this is a fairly complex gate, and that's where our story starts for today. We have become specialists in dealing with emergency situations on the railroad. So what do you do if this gate malfunctions, won't work? The railroad possibly won't take the car back. They will want it fixed where it's at. Now, if the car can go back to the home shop, that's probably what's going to happen. But if the car is misloaded or the gate can't be secured, then you're going to have a situation where you need somebody to go deal with it. And that's what we've become pretty good at. So here's a view of a home shop. This shop is a home shop where they do stenciling. They would work on gates. They would put new lids on the top of the car. But what I want to talk to you about today is where we got called to take care of a gate that had broken and could not be repaired easily in the field, but still needed to be opened to get the product out of the car. The railroad would not take the car. There was no one available to fix the gate. So our goal was to go open the gate, get the product out the bottom of the car, close the gate, and secure it. And we've done that throughout this half of the country. And it is an intermediate step. So then the car does go on to the home shop to get the gate repaired. But we're there. We do whatever it takes to get there when the car has to be unloaded. It's still got valuable product in it, but it's just unable to be opened by the plant people. They're generally not allowed to work on the car, so that's where we come in. Well, good morning. It's certainly early. It's 6:30 now, but I left it about 5:45. I'm part of the way to Cincinnati, but I'm going on through Cincinnati, Louisville, Nashville to work on a railroad car. I'll tell you more about that story later, but right now I'm southbound and down. I don't know how good this sound will be. I'm in a plant. I drove all day long like a madman to get here. Well, these pieces right here are broken off the gate. In 3 places, these attach to the gate. And then when you crank on this, it pulls that gate out. Well, all 3 of those are broken off, and I have torched a hole on each side, used cable clamps and some light cable, and I've got it hooked to a come-along that's ready to pull this gate open. The plant closes in 45 minutes, so I am really hustling. You should see me sweating. I think we're gonna roll over the pit with the trackmobile and pull this gate open, and this will be a success. Now we're over the pit. There's my come along. We're gonna pull on it. Hopefully the door will open and that stuff will dump right on down in there. There it goes. You want it all the way? Yep. Then I'm going to get out of here. So this was a success. I was able to open this up, get the product out, get the door re-secured, and get this car on its way, keeping the plant in operation and the car returned to the home shop.